And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Ooh, the future! I love games about the future. I like games that are about science fiction, and Pressure Matrix is one of those games about, a game in the future. Of course, movies about that don't turn out so well, but in this game, you're apparently running around in an arena, and the pressure and the gravity is getting stronger and stronger, and you're trying to block other people and stop them, and wow, this sounds exciting. Open up the game, and the components look fantastic. Wow! What an exciting, fun game that could have been designed around this concept. Unfortunately, Pressure Matrix just isn't a very, very good game at all. Love the theme. Seems like it would work even from reading the rules, and it doesn't. Take a look. The first thing players do is they are going to build a large square out of the different tiles, and these tiles are double-sided, and so really the variety is there. And so let's say you're playing a 3 or 4 player game, and you can go up to 5 in this. So you'd build a 4x4 one of these. So we turn them over. It really doesn't matter which way they're facing. So you build this giant grid in a sense. However, what's interesting is that each of these squares, that tiles that I'm putting out, is one space in of itself. Just because there's 4 things on it, those are nodes, they're called. They're not a space. So there's only 16 spaces on this board. Over here we have the scoring track, and you can see above the scoring track some of the other pieces. But on the scoring track, I'm going to put one of my markers on 10 over here to show that's how much money I have, because apparently when you're running around the field you get money. I assume it's points for how well you're doing in the arena. It just seems kind of odd. And then over here we have a pressure level, which will start at green, but during the game, due to different things, can fluctuate to yellow and red. Now, this pressure level matters because what the pressure level does is when you're rolling dice, on your turn you roll 3 dice. When the pressure level is green, you will take the lowest die. Look, 2. When the pressure level is medium, you take the middle die. In this case, there is no middle die because 2 of them are the same. In that case, you take the one that's not the same. And when it's red, you take the highest die. So, I guess that makes sense to some degree, but there's no strategy in this whatsoever. You roll the die and you get the number. It's a roll and move game. Alright, so here's the game. And players are set up on their spots. So let's say I just rolled a 3 and I'm blue. That means blue has to move 3 spaces. He can't go through somebody else, so he can't go in the same square twice or back in the square where he started, so he can go 1, 2, 3. He can go here. He can go 1, 2, 3, he can go here, 1, 2, 3, he can go up there, 1, 2, 3, he can go here, 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. There's different spots that he can go when he goes one of those spots. So let's say, for example, he goes to this spot. We can now focus up on this one here, and he gets to pick one of these 4 nodes. This one here says pay $8, roll 1 die. If you roll 4 or higher, trade scores with another player. Pay $3, roll 1 die. If you roll a 6, trade scores with another player. Win $3, roll a die. If you roll a 6, trade scores with another player. Pay $6, roll 1 die. If you roll a 5 or 6, reclaim 1 discarded control marker. Each player starts with several control markers. If you lose all those, you're out of the game. The problem is when you get something like this, well, of course I'm going to take the win 3. I mean, yes, there's a chance of me switching my score, but what have you. I put the marker there to show that no one can take that. If anyone comes back to 12, they have to choose from one of the remaining 3 options. And then, of course, eventually, there's going to be no options left. At which point, this one is shut down and nobody can go onto this space any longer. And the different spaces will let you do different things. You can see here that you're stealing, giving coins to another player. The player who has the most coins pays 10. You can win 10 from other players. It's almost always about giving tokens to other people, although sometimes there will be a tile that needs to be flipped. And some of the tiles allow you to place a control marker on that tile. Let's say this one down here lets you place a control marker on it. Right before another player wins money, I can take this off and I win the money instead. So there is that. If you cannot move on a turn for some reason or other, you roll the number and you cannot go to the spot. When that happens, you lose one of your control markers. Once you've lost all your control markers, you are then immobilized and you're out of the game. The last player out of the game is not the winner, rather the person who has the most money is the winner. So being immobilized isn't really that bad. Sure, at the end of the game you get $1 for each control marker you still have in your hand. Well, woo-hoo-hoo! If I'm the guy who landed on get 10 coins at the beginning, and then on an 8, and then on 6, you've got a long way to go. I don't really know how to describe this game. I don't know how it was play tested, and people said, this is really fun, because it's really not. Unless you're the kind of guy who likes to roll, move, and go, ha-ha, 6 coins for me. Ha-ha, stole 4 from you. Oh man, I lost 4. You say, but there's strategy. You can go to wherever spot you want. Whoopee-doo. You go to these different spots, you just pick the best one. You pick the worst one. There's no really weighing this one against another one. It's really obvious which ones are the best. So, great components, great theme. Those are the only things that are great, good, fair, or even average about the game, because everything else is not.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.